All beauty, all fade away, borrowed. All moonlight, return today, borrowed.
It's always a challenge to try and create something that is better than the last album that you had, and we feel very strongly that we've achieved that, and certainly the feedback that we've got from other people, anybody who's heard it, is pretty much the same. Very, very good feedback.
It's difficult to describe a whole album, but I think it's very much like a journey, and a sort of like a glimpse into our lives over the last 4 years. I think each song has a little story to tell, and from whoever wrote it, it's a little glimpse into their life. So it's almost like a little sort of biography. Don't stay out too late tonight. It is like a journey from beginning to end when you turn it on, and then to the very end, and there's like momentum and feel, and I think that it's optimistic yet it's sad, so it's almost just reflective of real life, really.
I think it takes confidence to write what you're really feeling, and it takes confidence to put it down on paper and to actually be vulnerable enough to show that to the world, and or for people to hear it.
We knew we had an album to write, but we really did it at our leisure, so it would be kind of like you'd write a song and kind of get excited, then ring up and go, yeah, Johnny, book the studio, to get our manager to book the studio, and we'd all come in then. It really is just a natural sort of recognition. You recognise good song, like if somebody else brings a song into the studio, you pretty much, straight away, yeah, that works. And I don't think we've ever had an album so paced, so like, wow, it just goes, it's like bam, bam, bam. Lets you relax when you want it, and keeps going,
It was particularly challenging this year because one of my sisters, Caroline, had a wee baby, Jake, and so she had to take time out from that, so she wasn't always available for the writing and for her parts. But we worked around her time, so basically we go into the studio in Dublin, take kind of blocks of time out, it could be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and record, do as much work as we could, and took our time on it. We didn't rush it, and there's certainly no point in rushing it. You've got to take time with songs, you've got to live with them, because inevitably there's going to be changes that you're going to make, particularly when the producer creates his influence on the songs.
We had talked to Mutt Lange because obviously we work with him and we're still friends, we still talk on the phone and everything, and he basically recommended Ola Romo. We didn't want to go who was in fashion. We wanted to find somebody that got the Corrs, really, that got it, and Ola loved the music and was passionate about it and hungry, and egoless, completely, if that is possible in this business. He is. So it was perfect. Like all producers, he provides the dynamics, because the bands have a tendency to get so lost in their own stuff that they can't see the wood for the trees, they can't see the song. So he brought objectivity, dynamics, and I think he made it quite edgy. There was a lot of guitar stuff in there that he included that I think made it very edgy. A little bit more rock in this album than before.
Ola was coming from LA, and he had a studio set up there, so he wanted to do some stuff there as well, which made absolute total sense. So what we did was, some of us went out. I didn't at the time because I was pregnant, so I kind of stayed in Dublin, did all my whatever I needed to do in Dublin. So he kind of came back and forth, which was great of him to be so accommodating to all of us, because at this stage in our lives we've got a lot more things going on in our lives individually, and we just kind of needed that,
It doesn't really matter now you're gone. You never were around that much to speak on. I didn't think that I could live without you, baby. It couldn't be that hard to live alone. But I'm all alone again, thinking you will never say you'll be home again. And it's gonna be a long night, and it's gonna be cold without your arms, and I'm gonna get stage fright, caught in the headlights.
long night, the melody and the lyrics came really, really, really fast. It was just like it fell out of me. It was incredible. And it's really about, you know, breaking up with someone. You know, it's all about sort of pretending, trying to be brave, going, it doesn't really matter now, you're gone, you know. You never were around that much to speak of, so it's sort of like, it's trying to be flippant. It's about breakups I've experienced, and it's about, I know how I would feel if I broke up with my husband. It would be good. Let's see that.
Records have always been a bit of everything. I mean, actually, you know, when you look back on them, there's always been the trad element, which sometimes confuses people. They go, are they pop? Are they rock? Are they trad? What are they? And I think on this record we've still got another, but you see, we love all these elements, so therefore we're going to put them on our record, and it feels natural to us to do that, you know.
The album sounds very, very diverse, but it was great to have a chance to collaborate with Ladysmith Black Mambasa in particular. We had been invited by Nelson Mandela to go out and perform part of the 46664 concert, an AIDS benefit concert in Africa, to help try and raise awareness about this devastating disease. Ladysmith Black Mambasa were performing in the concert as well, and we asked them if they'd like to work with us, and they said yes. So we found a studio in South Africa. Got all the lads, they all arrived in this people carrier, and we went in and we did the track, and it turned out great.
It's about our, you know, life's transience and our connection with the earth, and it all being so physical, and the beauty of the physical, our bodies, the miracle of being alive, you know, and how much more beautiful it is that we will actually, it's only for a certain time.
It's quite a spiritual song, really, so it's wonderful to have those voices on it, and and the way Joseph and Ladysmith Black Mambasa thought of it was like as prayer, is we've got to kneel and pray, and it was, you know, it was a lovely interpretation.
Hallelujah.
I think, you know, over the years with writing, you just, you know, nothing gets easy because you just shift the goalpost, you know what I mean? You're not content easily. And I think that's like four albums on, it's kind of like that. So I think for everybody, you know, when we write a song, we really did. I mean, I suppose with the time and space of not having been completely in it and immersed in it, there was time to appreciate it and go, God, how lucky I am, you know, that this can be heard. You know, there's so many amazing artists in the world, and it never gets heard, you know, or their painting never gets shown, and that kind of thing, or their poem, or their, whatever, you know, all these things. And I just thought, with the space, I think we all did believe, God, this is fortunate. Okay, babies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everyone's changing, I stay the same. I'm a solo cello outside a cold. I've got a secret.
We are in a studio doing the video for Summer Sunshine, and it's being directed by Kevin Godley.
And action!
Basically, it's about a couple that have been living in this house, hiding in this house, and we attempt to break the house down, break all the windows open, allow the light to come in. They're very scared initially, but eventually they're kind of consumed by the light, and everything's okay.
So far, Sharon has been pulling the open shutters aggressively. Jim has been doing something the same. Actually, he actually had to kick in some window or something like that and pull these sort of planks off the wall. I've had to pull down curtains while other things are going on around us. So, and just sort of just letting the light in, you know, bit by bit, you know.
Don't tell me where to go.
I think when you write a song, you want to give expression to it in a visual way. It's very, very important because, as you said, I mean, people will hear Summer Sunshine. It doesn't really matter what way they interpret it, if you know, whether they find it a happy song or a sad song. But it is one way of showing the depth to it if you can visually express it. So I find it really important.
Sweet beginnings and bitter endings. In Coffee City we borrowed heaven.
To me, the song, and I meant it like in writing it, is it's a sad song. It's beautiful in that it's reminiscent on love and on a beautiful time, but that couldn't be had in a way for whatever reason. So it's very bittersweet in that kind of like, I want that back, and it's, you know, it's nobody else's business, it's just ours.
Cut. Not bad at all. Playback, please.
I watched Colin in the video shoot and I was going, God, you know, she looks so happy, you know.
They need an eyeline.
Yeah.
She's really happy at work. And I all of a sudden saw the, you know, here's a mother getting out of the house. She's got the real appreciation of this. This is like, she's almost like the way Mammy talked about it. Mammy always talked to us like we were really lucky to be doing this. And she'd be like, well, what else would you do? It's your job. You know, if we'd ever got to moan about things. And I suddenly saw Colin actually has that perspective of somebody going, right, this is, you know, I love my baby and everything, and I love, but this is fun.
She lived like she knew nothing lasts. Didn't care to look like anyone else. And she was beautiful, so beautiful. I still hear her laugh like she's here. Shower it down, oh baby, it isn't so wrong to have such fun. Forever.
The impact of Mum dying was kind of, you know, it's only when you look back, but In Blue it was sort of very, very raw. So I think now we've a lot more time to reflect on it, and I think you can hear it in this record a lot.
I know certainly for myself in Goodbye, those lyrics are very much about my mum, and they're totally about trying to deal with her loss, and they're so about just basically frustration and lack of acceptance. I mean, I don't really accept the concept of death. I don't understand it. Nobody ever explained it to me, and to me the idea of saying goodbye is almost, I'll never find time to say goodbye, you know?
It's time to say goodbye. Block out this sun and pack up the sky. Don't let my tears start to make you cry. Each time I try to say my goodbye.
Music in itself is a release. So, you know, there is something cathartic about it. There definitely is. You know, so in a way, I don't know. I mean, in singing Goodbye, I even feel like I'm letting it go. You know.
I think, you know, once you've a child yourself, you think about all the things your mum did for you. I think that's what happens. You go, wow, she did all this for so long. She gave so much. And I think that's something that I think about like every day now. Do you know what I mean? It amazes me how much she did, because now I know how much I need to do. You know, the sacrifices they're not the sacrifices, but just what